Imagine a high-powered computer sitting completely isolated in a dark room. No cables, no Wi-Fi, no way to send or receive a single byte of data. It exists as a completely digital island. In the early days of personal computing, this isolation was the standard. Machines operated almost entirely on their own, crunching numbers locally and storing files strictly on physical hard drives. Today, that isolation is broken by a single hardware component, the Network Interface Card, or NIC. It acts as the exclusive gatekeeper, bridging your local machine to the vast expanse of the internet. Look closely at this board. The engineering challenge is figuring out exactly how this flat piece of silicon and metal takes the local electrical signals generated by your CPU and accurately translates them for a global communication network. To understand how the internet functions on a physical level, you must start by dissecting the internal architecture of this gateway card. Every piece of data leaving your computer has to start on a physical path. For a traditional wired network interface card, that journey begins at a literal plug. When you connect to an RJ45 port, the card sends analog or digital data flowing out through a physically bounded medium, most commonly a standard copper cable. But if you are using a modern laptop, you are likely bypassing the copper wire entirely and relying on a wireless architecture. Instead of traveling down a closed wire, a wireless NIC uses radio frequency antennas to broadcast unbounded signals. The data radiates outward through the air, easily covering a radius of 10 to 50 meters. To prevent millions of overlapping radio waves from degrading into total static, these broadcasts operate under strict IEEE 802.11 communication standards to organize the traffic. Whether the medium is a tightly wound copper cable or an invisible radio wave, its sole purpose is to carve out a physical pathway for the computer's true identity to travel across. Deeper down on the board, etched directly into the silicon, is the card's permanent identity. During manufacturing, every single NIC receives a MAC address. This is a 48-bit identifier that is physically burned directly into the hardware before it ever leaves the factory floor. This sequence displays exactly how the address is structured. Of 12 digits, these first 6 act as a signature, identifying the manufacturing company. The final 6 digits function as a unique serial number, pinpointing the specific hardware inside your device. Because this MAC address is a hard-coded physical trait, cybersecurity teams regularly rely on it to track malicious activity right back to the physical computer used by a hacker. However, a physical identifier is only half the equation. Knowing exactly what a piece of hardware is does not help network traffic find it. A MAC address cannot route data across the internet on its own. For global routing to work, the hardware requires a contextual identity. It needs an IP address. Unlike the permanent physical stamp of a MAC address, an IP address is purely logical. It is a digitally assigned coordinate that tells the local network infrastructure exactly where you are connected right now. Think of it this way. Your IP address is the map pin giving you a destination coordinate, while your MAC address is the physical vehicle making the drive. You need both of them functioning simultaneously. A computer simply cannot participate on the internet without a physical vehicle and a logical destination. We do not have to guess if these identities are working. We can track them directly from the command line. By typing a simple ping command to the loopback address, 127.0.0.1, your computer sends a test signal to its own NIC. If it replies, you know the physical hardware is operational, even if you are unplugged from the wall. Next, running the command getMAC forces the system to reveal that permanent 12-digit hardware identifier stamped onto the silicon. And by typing ipconfig, the terminal outputs your system's active IP address, confirming exactly where it logically sits on the network map. These basic diagnostic commands allow you to bypass the graphical interface and verify the exact status of your hardware and logical identities at any moment. To see how all of this converges, imagine 2 isolated computers connected directly to each other by a single physical crossover cable. Without assigned IP addresses, the network interface cards cannot direct information, and sending data completely fails. But assign an IP to both machines and the pathway opens. A data packet travels across the wire to the second computer, returning a ping to acknowledge successful delivery. The internet operates on this exact relay system. It is a tightly regimented process where physical wiring, unique factory MAC identities, and digital IP coordinates work together to move every piece of data on Earth. If you want to see more technical breakdowns like this, be sure to like this video, drop your questions in the comments, and subscribe to the Ask Me Identity channel. See you in the next one.